Jeb Blount, Sales EQ, the 5 questions that matter most to closing the deal. In Sales EQ, Jeb Blount explores the key elements that contribute to successful sales, focusing on the essential role of emotions, trust, and empathy in engaging potential customers and closing deals. The book highlights the importance of understanding and managing your own emotions, as well as those of others, to connect with prospects and truly cater to their needs. Sales EQ reveals the psychological aspects of sales, aiming to demystify the buyer's behavior, and offers practical strategies and tactics to develop a salesperson's ability to empathize and build trust with their clients.
Creative disruption in sales. Art, a salesman, was struggling to sell his company's truck leasing services to a baker who deemed their prices too high. Art invited his mentor, Joe, to their meeting, and Joe successfully sealed the deal using a brown paper bag and disrupting the buyer's expectations. By asking the baker what made his bread worth the price, Joe activated dopamine in the baker's brain, making him feel good about himself and wanting to reciprocate. Joe then compared Art's services to artisanal bread, using the buyer's language and logic, which made the baker feel understood and gained his trust. The key message is that the best salespeople creatively disrupt role expectations to score the deal. The power of emotions in buying. As buyers, we tend to think we make rational choices when purchasing goods. However, research has shown that our buying patterns are heavily influenced by emotions. Even for significant purchases like stocks, people are more likely to invest if the company's name is easier to pronounce. The sales process is also driven by emotions. The salesperson starts with logical pitches but eventually becomes emotional in fear of losing the sale, while the buyer's first thought is whether they like the salesperson. Understanding and connecting with the buyer's emotions at every stage of the sales process is essential to becoming an ultra-high seller. The power of reducing cognitive dissonance in sales. Human beings have a natural desire for consistency in beliefs and actions, leading to emotional discomfort when faced with cognitive dissonance. Such discomfort can interfere with a salesperson's efforts to sell their product, as contradictory information can raise a prospect's dissonance. However, salespeople can avoid such issues by reducing a prospect's cognitive dissonance. By activating a person's negativity bias through asking about positive attributes of their current vendor, salespeople can prime them to think of negative aspects as well, potentially reducing cognitive dissonance. The result? Higher chances of making a sale without causing emotional distress. Empathy in sales. High-performing salespeople use empathy to help buyers navigate their emotions and purchases. A great example is Karen, the top salesperson at a jewelry store who understands the emotional needs and financial concerns of young couples shopping for engagement rings. By seeking out clues with casual conversations, Karen customizes the experience, recommends viable ring options, and avoids pushing customers away with overly expensive offerings. The key message is that empathy is an essential skill for sales. A naturally empathetic person tends to attribute other people's behavior to situational circumstances, while less empathetic people attribute behavior to the offender's personality. Salespeople who may need to work harder can improve by cultivating empathy and putting themselves in other people's shoes. Control your emotions. Shannon's story highlights the importance of managing emotions during a sales pitch. It is crucial to stay calm, composed and well-prepared during high-stress situations to win over clients. Stressful environments can trigger the fight-or-flight response, leading to a lapse in rational thinking. Thorough preparation, including researching the prospect and practicing with others, can help remain focused on the goal and in control of negative emotions. By staying in full control of one's emotions, individuals can become ultra-high performers and win over tough clients. The power of likability. We tend to buy from people we like, and research shows that we like people who are polite, upbeat, well-groomed, well-dressed, and quite confident. However, one factor that is often overlooked is the ability to listen. Many salespeople talk more than they listen, which can be driven by fear of the unknown, the need for control, the desire to feel important, or impatience. To be successful, salespeople must manage their emotions and make a conscious effort to listen more. This will boost their likability and lead to more sales. Building trust in sales. In today's world, prospective clients are cautious about who they do business with, and gaining their trust is pivotal to succeed in sales. Building trust requires consistency and attention to detail. Even the little things like returning calls and being routinely accurate with every fact and figure provided can help establish credibility. Every mistake made is like chipping away at a wall, and too many mistakes can lead to a loss of trust. However, the occasional mistake is inevitable, and demonstrating reliability can help build trust and lead to repeat business.
Throughout Sales EQ, Jeb Blount emphasizes the importance of utilizing emotions, empathy, and trust in becoming a successful salesperson. The book guides readers on how crucial it is to understand not only their emotions, but also those of their clients to identify the right moment to make a pitch. Being a likable person, an active listener, and proving reliability and consistency are key attributes in establishing trust with clients and ultimately achieving sales success. In closing, mastering your sales EQ ultimately entails blending both intellect and empathy in understanding, and navigating the emotions of both the salesperson and buyer, which are vital elements in connecting with prospects, closing deals, and maintaining fruitful client relationships.